What's up guys, Bob here with RC Bits. Today we're going to talk about batteries and battery chargers. Alright, in the RC world today, most everything runs off of batteries. That being said, you have to learn how to recharge them when they die. So I'm just going to make a quick video here and go over the couple different types of batteries and then go over the functionality of the battery charger. We have a few different type of battery connectors. Most commonly we have the XT60 and we have the Dean's connector, and we have what I call the Tamiya bullet connector. Leave a comment below if you know the actual name of this connector. I always just call it the Tamiya connector or the regular bullet connector. Honestly not sure what it's called, but so those are kind of the three main battery connector types. There are different kinds out there, much older kind. I know Traxxas uses their own proprietary connector, but those are the main connector types. Alright, and because of all of the different types of battery connectors for your battery charger, you're going to want to invest in a nice Octopus connector that has all of the different types of connectors on the end of it. You can see we have the XT60 here, we have the Dean's in here, we have a couple barrel connectors for charging different types of things, and then your charger will come with a little balance board for the different cells for the Lipo batteries. And as you can see here, I have a few different battery chargers set up here to show you that even though the battery charger itself may look different, different brand, different style, they're all going to function exactly the same. On these ones, you can see there is a screen, and then there are 4 buttons below that screen. So I will go ahead and change the camera angle here and go through the functionality on how to operate and work the battery charger. Okay, so here we have the actual battery charger itself. As you can see, there are 4 buttons along the bottom of the screen here. When charging your battery, the first thing you need to do is you need to select the battery type that you're wanting to charge. So as you can see on the screen here, I have selected the lithium battery. You can use the status arrows to go left or right to select the type of battery that you are wanting to charge. For this case, I'm going to go ahead and charge a Lipo battery, so we're going to select lithium bat here. Go ahead and click on the enter button here, and that's going to bring you into a screen that shows you all of the different options you have for charging a battery. So let's go ahead and plug in a battery so we can see what it actually looks like and go from there. Alright, when plugging our battery in, we're just going to make sure that we have it connected to the proper connector type. We have the XT60 connector here, and then we have the balance lead plugged into our little balance board. Okay, once we have our battery plugged in, we have a few different options that we can do. So the most common thing that you want to do is Lipo Balance. What that's going to do is that's going to balance each of the cells that are in that battery to make sure that each of them have the same voltage. If you have a 3-cell battery, you want to make sure all 3 of them are charged at the same rate and at the same level. Think of it of having 3 cups. You want to make sure that you pour water in them equally. That way one of them doesn't have less water than the other 2. So the option for that is to select Lipo Balance. If you don't want to do that, there are options where you can charge it differently, but for the better health of the battery, 99% of the time you want to make sure that you are charging it on the balance setting. Once you select the balance setting, you can go ahead and change the options if you need to. The next screen we'll go ahead and hit enter here. We want to make sure that we're on LiPo, which we are. And then we're going to choose the charge rate, or the amount of amps that we're using to charge a battery. This charger maxes out at 10 amps, which is pretty high. So what you want to do is you want to find out on your battery itself what it recommends that you charge it at. And that's kind of based on the numbers that you can see on the battery itself. So let's go ahead and show a battery here. So we have a little 2S LiPo battery here. This is for an RC car. 7.4 volts, which means it's 2 cells. And this is a 5200 milliamp hour battery. So what that's telling us is we want to charge it at 5.2 amps. So what we're going to do is take the arrow and we're going to go down to 5.2. And then we're going to hit the enter button again. Once we have all of that information correct, what we're going to do is we're going to hold the enter button till it beeps. It's going to check the battery, and then we're going to press enter again, and then it's going to start charging. So what it's going to do from here is it's going to go through each of the cells, it's going to look at them, see where they're at, and start charging it. It's going to give you a... Okay, now that we've gone over the how to charge a battery on the balance setting, I'm going to go through each of the options that we have on the charger other than the balance setting. So just standard LiPo charge. What this is going to do is this does not require you to plug in the balance lead connector, just the main connector, and that's going to just charge the battery normally, and not necessarily pay attention to making sure that each cell is getting the right amount. This is okay in some situations, but if you're going to use this option, make sure every once in a while you definitely still balance your LiPo, because they can definitely get off balance. The next option is fast charge. This is if you need to charge your battery really, really fast. Let's say you're in a race, or whatever your scenario is, you need to charge your battery really fast. You have the option here as well. LiPo storage is an option if you're not going to be using your battery for a while. You put it basically into storage mode. If you leave a battery fully charged on the shelf for months and months and months, you can damage it. So if you're not going to be playing with it for a while, put it into LiPo storage. And then LiPo discharge is discharging the battery, draining all of the power out of it. Okay, for a nickel metal hydrate battery, things are just a little bit different. So what you want to do is you want to look on the battery itself. We have a big 5000, which is most of the information that we need, and then we have a little other little bit of information here that could be helpful. You do have the option of plugging in a lead to the end of this and then plugging it into a wall charger. That's what this is referring to. If you plug it in that way, that'll kind of give you a little bit of information as to how long it'll take. So for this, what we're going to do is we're going to select nickel metal hydrate, and we're going to go ahead and plug this battery in, keeping in mind that 5000 number that is on the battery itself. So let's go ahead and select this, and then what we're going to do is the 5000 correlates to how many amps it's going to need to charge. You don't balance nickel metal hydrate batteries. Basically what they are is they're a bunch of little batteries that stack together to make one big battery. So there's only one battery to charge. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this 2 amp and we're going to change it up to 5 amp, because this is a 5 amp battery. So let's go ahead and select nickel metal hydrate, and then we're going to bump this up to 5 amps. Just like the LiPo, we're going to go ahead and hold the enter or start button till it beeps at us. It's going to go ahead and check the battery, and then it's going to start charging it. Okay, and the options we have for the nickel metal hydrate batteries, as you can see, I'm going to show it here again. There are 6 batteries, which are about C or D sized batteries, all kind of in parallel together. So as far as the structure of the battery, that's how those are made. So let's go ahead and, with that in mind, go through these options here and see what we have. So we have the charge setting that we just went through. We have the discharge setting, much like the Lipo, where we can discharge the battery. And we have the cycle setting, which is going to go through and it's going to cycle through each of those 6 batteries to make sure all of them are okay. And you can change the options of how many times it cycles. This is more of a health check to make sure that your battery is in a healthy state. All right, thank you so much for watching. Please leave a comment if you have any questions. Please consider subscribing. It definitely helps out the channel. I'm going to have more videos coming soon on different little tips and tricks and common questions that people have. But as you can see, I've got a mountain of batteries here that I need to charge up and go have some RC fun. Thanks so much.